1985. I was 8 years old, and most kids in the 80s would get up on a Saturday morning and they would watch the Flintstones and they would watch the Jetsons, but not me. I was up at 5 in the morning going to the gym with my papi, my daddy, my champion. We would go to the boxing gym, and I would go with him, and he would say, siéntate ahí, sit right there. And I would sit there for 2 entire hours, and I would watch him as he would go left, right, uppercut, hook, and he would hit the punching bag, and he would hit the speedball, and he would just go in that ring, and he would spar. And I would look at him in amazement. You see, my mom and my dad had me when they were teenagers. My mom was 15 years old of Puerto Rican descent, and my father was 16 years old of Dominican descent, and they had me and my sister when they were fairly young, but we didn't know that they were teenagers. I just knew that was my mommy and my papa. My father comes from a family of entrepreneurs. All his 5 brothers owned bars and liquor stores and bodegas, so it only seemed normal that by 20 years old, my papi had his first bodega. He owned his own home, 3 family by the time he was 22. My mom, well, she was a stay-at-home mom, and she was so beautiful and still is. She would cook and clean, and she would walk around in this gray and white dress, and I would just stare at her as she hung the clothes on the clothesline, and I would sit on the rail on the porch, and I would just look at my mommy. My father would come home at 5 o'clock every day from the bodega. My mom had dinner served on time at 5 o'clock, and I would sit with my sister. And we would laugh and we would eat, but he would have to rush. He would have to rush to the bodega because that is the life of a bodeguero. And I would say, Papi, please, can I go with you? Can I go with you to the bodega? I want to help you work. Sure, come on. So I would go to the bodega and I would stand on a milk cart because I was so short, and I would stand right on the candy counter, and I would stand there, and my friends would walk in from the neighborhood, and I would look because I just was the daughter of a bodeguero. And I would stand, and my friends would walk in, and I'd say, hey, can I help you? And they'd say, yeah, can I have $1 worth of red Swedish fish and Chico sticks and now ladies? And I'd say, yes. 1, 2, 3. I'd even add a little if they were my friends or he was a cute little boy. And my papa would look like, don't mess with my business, girl. So just to let you know that 85 was a really good year for me. Our family was happy. It was normal. So that summer of 85, my abuelita, my mom's mom, says, can I take Jessica to Puerto Rico? You see, my grandmother travels to Puerto Rico every year and still does. She's about to be 79, and she goes every year for 2 entire months. So that year she said, can I take her? And they said, sure. So there would be no bodega and no boxing for me, but I would be in Puerto Rico as my grandmother's assistant of a minister, because she preached the gospel of Christ, and she traveled all over Puerto Rico, and she would go to Ponce, Rio Piedra, Fajardo, and all parts of Puerto Rico. As a matter of fact, some of the churches didn't even have a church. They were outside praising in a campo. And she would preach, and I said, wow, my abuelita's a star. And she would say at the end of every service, I would like to introduce to you my nieta. She was going to come and sing a song and close with a prayer. And in our faith, we would wear these white veils, and I had my very own veil. And I would go up, and I'd say, God bless you, everybody. Dios te bendiga. Yo la lavo de corazón, yo la lavo con mi voz, yo la lavo de corazón, yo la lavo con mi voz. And I would sing my song, and I would say, God bless you, everybody, que Dios te bendiga. And everybody would clap and say, oh my gosh, she's anointed by the Lord. And I would, yes, amen, thank you, Jesus, I would say. Summer was over, and 2 months were over, and we were back on the airplane going back to Newark, New Jersey. And of course I was waiting for my mommy and papi to pick me up because I wanted to tell them all about this wonderful summer that I had and my experience with God. And when I get to the airport, my mom is standing there with this blank look, and I look and I say, hi, mommy. She goes, hi. And I said, where's papi? And she looks at me and she says, I'll talk to you about that later. So we drive to my uncle's house, and I'm like, are we going to mi casa? No, we're going to Tio's casa. And I'm in the house, and I see this strange look in her face and the tension in her face, and she looks at my grandmother and she says, Mommy, he left me. He threw all my bags in the street with the baby, and he said, get out, and he left me. And I stood there like, doesn't my mom see that I'm listening? Doesn't she see that I understand? Where is this God that I served all summer? Where is this God that I praised for 2 months with Grandma? warriors, and the devil is a liar. He's out to seek to destroy, but he will never destroy you or my children. And my mom looked at her and said, okay. And she said, you stay here for the week, I'll take the baby and we will figure this out. So I went to bed in this lonely room with my mother, and my mom didn't explain to me what was happening because she was so depressed and so stunned and so stressed, and all I could feel was the energy of her stress, and I just laid there and said, please, let this be a bad dream. So I begged her for days, Mommy, please take me to the bodega. I need to see Papi, and she didn't deny me that, and she took me to the bodega. And I thought on that ride to the bodega, he will look at my face and he will say something nice and they will make up and everything will be fine. We'll be a happy family. This will happen. And we get to the bodega and I walk in and I go, hi, Papi, bendición. And he looks with this mean face. And my mom says, Jose, you stay with her. Stay with her this weekend because she's asking for you. He says, I'm not fucking staying with her, Lisa. You stay with her. It's your fucking daughter, you asshole. You know what? You stay with her. She's asking for you. And he looked at her. He said, I will take them from you. She said, you try it, you piece of shit. And she walks out and slams the door. And I look at him and I say, bendición, papi. He says, Dios te bendiga. I said, am I going to stay in the bodega with you? And he said, no, I'm taking you back to the house. Who's in the house? Jessica, I have a new wife. And she lives in the house. And that's going to be your stepmom. What? I just stayed quiet, and we walked across up the block where our house was, and we walk in, and there she was in my mother's kitchen, using my mother's pots, cooking on my mother's stove, standing in my mother's house. And I just looked because I couldn't believe it. Left, right, uppercut, hook, boom, bow in my stomach. Oh my God, I'm falling. I'm on the floor like Papi used to be in the ring. And I feel it, and I'm winded, and the referee in my head is saying 1, 2, 3, 4. And I get back up, and I look at my father, and I'm like, oh my God, is it really true? In my head, but I was speechless. And I look, and I say, now I'm looking, and he's no longer my champion, my hero. He has now become my opponent in the ring. 2020. You would think that that blow would have knocked me down. You would think that that blow would have me in the floor. But you know what, Papi? Thank you. Thank you for teaching me how to be a fighter, even through the triumphs I fought. And you know what? I am a warrior. Like mi abuelita said that day to my mother, I am a conqueror. I am a fighter, and I am okay.